Hey everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2. In the previous episode, we played some ranked battles with Green Cooper's Gaming and Pengarman, and 4 videos ago, we actually made some story progress. So it's been a little while since we've been in Octo Canyon, but now that we've had our fun and games, it's time to get back down to business. So now we're going to the final world of the game, Cephalon HQ. But before we do that, I gotta point out something that kind of bothers me about Octo Canyon that I've been wanting to wait a little while to talk about. So, the thing is, we've seen this before, but we can super jump to other locations in Octo Canyon, and there's a bit of a loading screen between the regions. This wasn't the case in the first game. The entire single-player campaign, as you'll see on screen, was all in one big area with no loading screens whatsoever. So I don't know why they had to do that for this game. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't mind a loading screen every once in a while. It's just something that kind of seems like a bit of an odd step backwards from the original game. But again, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, there's still amazing levels of detail in the background, stuff like that. Like, we can see the first couple worlds over there. But without further ado, we're now going to be finally going into Cephalon HQ. And I mean it this time. So normally, I show you the path for opening up the next level when we're going to go play it, but Cephalon HQ, the big gameplay gimmick with this area is that it's kind of like a little puzzle figuring out how to get to the level in the first place. So for this world, I'm going to be speeding up, opening up all the levels, as well as collecting the Sunken Scroll and the Sardinium in this world. So, cue the fast forwarding montage thingy. This is not the right one I want to go to. So now that we've finally opened up all the levels and collected both the second scroll and Sardinium, it's time to move on to the next level. Underground Expressway, Octobrush with Danger. Okay, take this with you. It'll help me gather some practical battle data. If you love getting up and close and personal, the Hero Brush is the weapon for you. Hold ZR to ink the ground as you run, or spam the button to slash repeatedly. You can close in on enemies really quickly and then splat them to bits like a ninja. So the Octobrush is a very similar weapon to the rollers in this game, where you can roll around like this. This is pretty much the fastest way that a human inkling can travel. So that's definitely something worth mentioning if you're the kind of player who likes to get into a fight and then run away like a little chicken. Nothing against brush users, it's just that that's a strategy that I see most people using. So it's not a bad strategy by any means, it's very effective, because the Hero Brushes are pretty difficult to catch up with. So, like I said, it rolls around like a roller, but you can also mash the button to do like a sword attack. It's basically the closest thing that Splatoon has to a sword, so that's why it's pretty awesome. So, we have seen the brushes in the online multiplayer portions of this Let's Play, because I did play with one for a little bit, a couple videos back. In hindsight, I probably would sort of wait to do that until after we've seen it in the story mode. But, hey, something that I can learn for an eventual Splatoon 3 Let's Play if that game ever happens. These guys with shields are no big deal if you can flank them. Yeah, let's destroy you. So the thing that's worth mentioning about this world is that I did practice for it, but it didn't occur to me until right before I started recording this that I didn't actually practice for getting the collectibles. So that may cause a little bit of a problem down the line, because the thing about Cephalon HQ is that this place has a kind of a weird difficulty spike where it's not impossible or anything like that. It's just that these levels are a bit more difficult than what we saw in the Slimeskin Garrison. But again, it's not impossible. It's just a little bit more difficult than what you'd probably be used to for this game. Nothing bad about that. It's nice that this game does provide a nice challenge towards the end, because that's something that's kind of a big problem with the games nowadays, is that a lot of them stay easy for too long. And like, if you want an example, as much as I love Super Mario 3D Land, that game doesn't really get challenging until you get into the post-game. But I still absolutely adore Super Mario 3D Land, it's just that it can get a little bit too easy at times! Oh, that's what I get for criticizing 3D Land. That's one thing that I will say the 3D World has over 3D Land, though, is that as much bad things as I've said about 3D World over the years, it is a pretty challenging game, and I do have to say that. That is a pretty good thing. For those of you who are fairly new to my channel, it's not that I don't like Super Mario 3D World. It is a really great game. It's a really great game, but I just personally think it's the weakest of the 3D Mario games, because it just seems like it's the least creative. Like, if you want an example, a big majority of those levels are pretty much exactly the same, or have some kind of equivalent to those found in Super Mario 3D Land. So that's something that kind of gets really distracting when you play 3D World. But again, it's still a really great game, and I highly recommend it for anybody who still plays the Wii U in 2019, like me. My Wii U is basically like a virtual console and Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Pikmin 3 and Xenoblade Machine. So yeah, still use it pretty much a lot. So let's go over here. You know, one thing that I want to say about the Wii U real quick, going back to that for a moment, I love the Wii U and all, and I love the Switch, and one thing that the Wii U's library definitely has over the Switch right at the moment is Wii U had some really great party games. Had some really great multiplayer party games for families and things like that. Like, you had Nintendo Land, which is pretty great. You had Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which say you will about that game, but it is still a really relaxing experience for people who don't play a whole lot of games that often. I really liked Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, so yeah. But the Switch doesn't really have a whole lot of things like that. It has Super Mario Party, which is still pretty fun, but that's just one game. I mean, it also does have Glorification, but that's also available on the Wii, so I kind of wish that there were more party games on the Switch. Like, I don't know, maybe like another Mario Party game or something along the lines of Wii Sports Resort. Something like Wii Sports Resort would be really awesome on Switch. Well, you do have Wii to Switch as well, but there's not really a whole lot of stuff to do in that game. Once you play all the mini-games, it's pretty much it. So I'm getting a little nervous. We haven't seen either of the collectibles yet, so I'm going to explore this area a little bit before we move on. Doesn't seem like we missed anything over here, so let's move onward. I'm going to use my seeker so we can go this way. Actually, wait, what's back here? Nothing. Okay, I was kind of thinking that there would be an invisible platform type. You know what? The thing is, I've done reverses this game before, so this Let's Play is my third time 100%ing this game. You'd think I'd remember everything by now. Now a lot of people replay the Splatoon games, because as great as these games are, there's now a whole lot of replay value in the story mode, at least for things we've seen at this point in time. Like, there are the hero replica weapons that we'll get into a bit later in the Let's Play, but that's pretty much it. Let's go over here, and let's go this way. I think there's a... Yep, there is. Okay. And we have a splashdown, and one of those jerks is down there, so let's surprise him! Whee! Okay. Is there anything over here? I think that's the way we want to go. I think the collectible's up here somewhere. Yep, it is. Yay! Oh, I remember where the last collectible is. Okay, so we haven't missed it yet. I think. Maybe. Might be thinking of another level. Oh, no, I'm not. Ready to get up and close and personal with those Octo Commanders. Lead those industrial squeegees with the ink bombs. Oh, we get to play with the squeegee again. I love the squeegees so much. They're so cute. Oh, squeegees are the best thing ever. I don't care what anyone says. I love squeegees. Okie dokie. So we're gonna lure them away over here. And I was kind of thinking that we can go around the other way, but then they caught up to us, and that was a very good strategy in hindsight. Okay, so these barriers are going to be your best friend forever with those Octo Commanders, because they won't start attacking you until they see the Inkling or anything like that, so that's something that's very worth mentioning. Also, a great idea to distract the squeegees, like, I think it was Marie who said that, yeah, Marie. The dialogue box is still on screen. Why did I have to think who said that? Okay, so this is definitely one of the more less obvious collectibles to get in this game. The sunken scroll is in a really great spot because you could see it if you were exploring for a little bit, and that's kind of your indication of where the collectible is supposed to be located at. So that's in a really great spot, and anything that involves an invisible platform is alright in my book. Except I didn't write anything about invisible platforms in the book that I wrote. Man. I still can't believe that's actually published. I've had that story in my mind for like 10 years at that point, and it's actually published, and people can read it and stuff like that. That's just awesome. Okay. I always get a little bit confused during this part. Alright, squeegees, come over here. I have a present for you. Yeah, there we go. I would care about what's in those boxes over there, but I also just want the squeegee to go this way. I will say, it is a little bit hard to have the squeegee follow where you want it to go when you have the brush. It's a lot easier to control when you have like a projectile-based weapon and things like that. So at that point, your Seeker and Splat Bombs are definitely going to be your best friends forever. Let me check your weapon log. Yep, data's coming through. Oh man, this is really good stuff. This is all dialogue that we've seen before. Good luck, Agent 4. And we get the Hero Brush. Hey, Squid Kids, it's me, Callie. It's been so long since I've written a proper blog post. Squid emoji, squid emoji. Being on my own like this, I've got time to think, but sometimes I think too much. But I am really psyched for filming today. Stay fresh! Man, if they had like a Twitter thing for the Squid Sisters, I would definitely follow it. Man. I know they had a thing where I think Isabel took over one of the Nintendo accounts and they were promoting an Animal Crossing game. It'd be awesome if they did that for Splatoon or something like that. But I've been wanting to say this forever. But here we go. Blast! We're on level 23! Yeah! The Octogalaxy won with the Cosmos and... Shut up. Shut up. Oh, it rotates automatically when you spin. That's pretty cool. I could really use some more detail on this weapon. Can you use it for a bit? I am more than happy to use a dually weapon. Dualies are awesome. So, the thing that makes me really happy about this level, first of all, I got to make a Toy Story reference in a Splatoon video, which is like the best thing ever. And this is a space-themed level, and Buzz Lightyear is themed for space! It's perfect! Oh man, I've been waiting to use that one since I saw this level for the very first time. I need to get a life. Let's take care of these guys. Oh man, the lighting effect in this world is just so gorgeous. Oh man. I know I say this a lot, but this is such a pretty game. If I ever made t-shirts, that's definitely going to be one of the t-shirt designs. Owie! That was rude. If it loads stuff for you, but try not to get hit there. Because I have a bit of a fun story about this, and this is kind of gonna be what's on my mind whenever I play through this game again. So, while I was playing through this level for my practice playthrough, I was listening to a discussion video that Game Explained was doing on Fire Emblem Three Houses. And so, now, it's gonna be one of those things where whenever I play through this level, I'm going to think of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's just one of those things. I'm really excited for that game, by the way. I haven't gotten it myself by the time this video is being released, but I really want to try that game out, because I haven't really played a proper Fire Emblem game or anything like that. I really want to. I played a little bit of Awakening, and I liked what I played, but I never got the full game. I heard bad things about Fates, and it was also released in 2 versions, which kind of gave me anxiety on for which version I wanted to get, so I never bothered picking that one up. Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Fire Emblem Heroes are pretty much my only exposure to the series, and I love Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but it's not a Fire Emblem game. And Fire Emblem Heroes, while it is a pretty fun game, it's also very different from the main series, so I don't really count that one. So Fire Emblem Three Houses, I'm really excited for that game. Alright, let's go. Well, particle effects you have in this level is just so gorgeous. Again, with the graphics and stuff, this is such a pretty game. Alrighty then. Take care of that. And second scroll. So I'm not entirely sure why this is here of all places, because you'd think it'd be in a bit less of an obvious spot, because it's kind of in a path that we'd have to take anyway for the story. But, whatever. Anyway. Now we're taking care of that. Let's go this way! And jump! Wow! Okay, I've Let's Played a lot of 3D platformers before. I've never had a jump that bad. I've never done a jump that poorly in any Let's Play I've ever done. What was that? Squid jump! Oh, I miss you. Oh man, okay. That is something that legitimately breaks my heart. Squid Jump was a really fun minigame in the original Splatoon game. This is basically like a little platformer game that you can play on the Wii U gamepad. Because how that game worked was that while you were in the lobby, you could play some retro-themed Splatoon games. It was really fun and stuff like that. Squid Jump was definitely my favorite of them all. And it makes me so sad that it didn't come back in this game. Like, we do have Squid Beats, and that is pretty fun to play in the plaza. But that was really the only one that it made any kind of return. So I'm kind of bummed that Squid Jump didn't make a comeback. But now that we're taking care of all that, do you ever think, man, this place is ugly? My evil lair could use some more pizzazz. Well, just whip out some sparkly fabric and tape and get your decorate on. It looks great, feels great, and it's fun. Give it a try and stay fresh! So, our suspicions earlier were true. Seems like Callie had something to do with Octo Canyon's more feminine touch. Now if you take care of all that, it's time to transition into the online portions of this video. Whoosh! Hello and welcome to the magical land of alternate save file. Today we'll be playing at the Kelp Dome in Turf War, and we'll be doing it in post-commentary. Isn't that exciting? Alright, so the reason why we're doing a post-commentary this time around is because the footage was recorded a little bit late, but when I went on to Splatoon 2, I realized that we hadn't seen these modes on these stages yet, so I figured I was going to record footage, but I was too sleepy to actually record it in commentary. So that's the amazing story of why I'm doing post-commentary. I'm going to sell the movie rights and make $1. An entire dollar. Alright, so I've praised the Kelp Dome plenty of times in the past. This is one of my favorite stages in Splatoon. Probably my second favorite overall, just barely behind Moray Towers. So, not really a whole lot else to say about this stage in particular, but I am playing on an Octobrush, which is something that we have not yet seen on the stage before, so that's something that's pretty interesting. If I wanted to go absolutely crazy, I could show off every single weapon in every single stage in this Let's Play, but I'm not going to do that. Even though we are doing 100 episodes during this Let's Play, we are not going to do that. I'm not that crazy. So this sniper right here had a pretty good strategy, I'll give them that. They were going back and forth between a couple pretty good sniper points within their area. So the thing with the snipers on this kind of stage is that their big job is to kind of get rid of the progress that the other team has been making. So somebody like me who's playing as an Octobrush who doesn't have the best range in the world, they kind of have to get super close to the wall to be able to deal with the sniper enemies. But if you know what you're doing, then you can drive off the sniper and figure out where they'll be going and continue on from there. What I really like about Kelp Dome in particular is that this one is a pretty easy stage to figure out where your priorities need to be at any given time. Because there are stages like, for example, Port Mackerel, for example. It can be a little bit hard to figure out where your priorities are supposed to be during that stage because it's kind of a bigger one. So this one, it's a pretty good one because you could see, oh, we have a lot of our ink in the center of the map, but they're slowly closing in on the exterior borders of the stage, so that's what we need to focus on right now. So this is what I really love about Kelp Dome amongst a bunch of other reasons. I feel very bad for that one right there because I didn't notice until it was too late that those two people were having a squid party, and I kind of feel bad for disrupting squid parties like that, but at the same time I don't feel bad enough to stop it whenever I see it. Like, I have joined one squid party before, and that was on Monte Maria. I believe I've already talked about this in the past, but that was still a pretty fun time. Oh yeah, look at all that pink! Pink is a manly color of awesomeness! They reminds me of that line in the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve when he was all like, I like pink very much, Lois Lane. And now moving on to Monte Maria. We just had a really good selection of stages during this rotation, because we had two of my top 3 favorite stages in this rotation, and it was just awesome. We had Kelp Dome and Monte Maria. I love both of those stages, and it was just a really good time all around. For the most part, because it took a little while to get footage of this one. I was recording footage for both stages for a little while, And the thing is, pretty much every match that I lost, like, I don't really care if I show footage of me losing during this Let's Play, but the thing is, during this recording session, I kind of didn't want to show off the footage of me losing because we were, like, getting absolutely destroyed, and my Inkling could barely move around for, like, 10 seconds before getting splatted, and that just wouldn't be fun to watch. Alright, sorry for being carnivated there, I was listening to the music. Don't judge me, Splatoon has very catchy music. Alright, so at this point in the match, we are kind of getting our butts kicked right now, so hopefully we'll be able to make a comeback at some point. I don't know why I'm talking like that, because I already know what happens during this match, because it's post-commentary, so yay. You know, for a few years there was this one period of time during my early days of Let's Playing where I couldn't do live commentary on console games because my capture card had the worst lag problem in the world. So I did kind of develop a habit where I would try to do post-commentary as if I was doing live commentary, but it also meant that it just wasn't really that great because you could tell my reactions weren't genuine or anything like that. And that's definitely something that I learned from doing post-commentary. One thing that I gotta say about these stages, now that I'm really looking at Maria and really appreciating it, is that I know I've mentioned this before, but definitely take the time to go into recon on these stages to just get a taste of how gorgeously detailed these stages are. Because you can see a bunch of sailboats off in the backgrounds, you can see the kind of beach resort and the buildings over there. There's just so many little details on every single one of these stages that I'm honestly kind of wondering if I should make like a recon episode. Because I already know that this Let's Play is going to be 100 episodes, so I already know there'll be plenty of time to do something like that, but this is something I've been debating about for a little while, whether or not I should have like a recon episode or something like that. But the match is almost over. And we get splatted. Isn't that exciting? And now that we've taken care of all that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Splatoon 2. And until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.